Hello YouTubers, this is my DIY planter box filter, also my biological filter from my tank, my 55 gallon, as you can see here, with my cichlids. I'm doing a little maintenance right now, but thought I'd make a video of what I've done so far. But this is my planter filter, biological filter. Got this idea from aquaponics because in aquaponics, basically they use fish water as a fertilizer to grow their food without soil. They use a different type of media. So I was thinking, well, hey, if they can do that, then why can't I use that to try to lower my nitrate and nitrite levels, and to do with the ammonia as well. But let me get up here. As you can see, the media I use, there are different types of media. You can use pea gravel, you can use hydrotone, which is a little bit more expensive. I'm using lava rocks. Let me see if I can pull one out of here. But lava rocks are, reason why I chose lava rocks, they're cheap. I think I bought a 20-30 pound bag for $4, and they are very porous. Let me see if I can get one that's really porous. But yeah, it's a good one. They are very porous. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. There we go. They're very porous. So creates a great surface area for the biological bacteria or beneficial bacteria to grow. So it can break down all the fish waste. And then I put some plants in here. Have some pothos. Grows well in fish water. Got some Dracaena. Got another plant, can't remember what the name was. And I threw some bromeliads in there just to see if I could get them to grow. They were like $2 at Lowe's. So it's like, hey, why not? So basically, how my setup runs is this is a gravity filter, so to speak. You can't see it, but my filter is behind the plant down there. It's on the very bottom behind the plant. The tube runs up. And it connects right there, which leads to my manifold that I made. Okay, this is my manifold right here. This is the line that feeds up to the planter filter, to my intake for the planter. Runs down all the way to the bottom, and the water comes out at the very bottom of the planter. Now, at first I thought, man, this planter sucks because it doesn't go all the way down. It comes up in the middle right there. But what I found was that these sides right here are actually great to put some bubble curtains in. So you can see the bubbles coming up. I have 2 bubble curtains, one on each side of the planter. And the reason why I did that was to try to eliminate any dead zones, and to try to keep the waste, any waste, from settling at the very bottom. And it helps to oxygenate. I probably said that wrong, but gets oxygen to the plant roots as well. And you know, it's good for the fish as well. So, and from there, let me show you. Here's my bell siphon. Man, bell siphons, you know, I had a hard time. This is the second prototype I did of a bell siphon. I wanted to go cheap because I think that's what DIY is all about, is going cheap. But you can see I have a intake, a drainage pipe. Okay, just PVC pipe, and it connects to a connects to the electrical PVC connection down there. Okay, which filters out through right here. Now, one thing I've learned about these bell siphons is that, and this is my personal opinion, Pretty sure everybody has their own, but what I come to find out is that if you can get the bottom of the bottle or the bell siphon to fit perfectly or as tight as possible around that drainage pipe that you have going right there, it creates a better vacuum for the water to be siphoned out. At first, it wasn't like that. I had cut the top off the bottle and stuck another bottle on top of the drainage pipe, and it just didn't work really well. This one works way better. It creates a nice vacuum to keep that siphon going. It gets a good flow rate. Also, what I did to try to help keep the leaves out of the water, I just took some leftover PVC pipe and put the stems through there, and which worked out great because it helps keep the leaves out the water. But not only that, it protects the stems, and it just helps to direct the roots a lot easier further down into the planter. Because lava rocks are kind of sharp and they can destroy the roots of the plant, but the PVC pipe seems to really help eliminate that as well. So that's my bell siphon. The water drains out through there. Through here is my ball valve. This is a cool connection. It's a 1/2 inch electrical connector. The cool thing about this is that it has a pipe coming out of here. Okay, a bulkhead. I guess you call this a bulkhead, but it has a pipe coming out the middle to where if I wanted to, I could just plug this right in, and it'll hold in there nicely. I decided to just go ahead and push the PVC pipe in there, and it just held nicely. Awesome. So then it filters out, goes behind my hang on the backs. Don't know if I'm going to keep those yet, but right now I'm just going to leave them on there until that's my baby girl's Uni Kitty. Awesome cup. But yeah, it drains out through here and it goes down. That's the outtake pipe right there. And that's actually bubbles coming from the filter. And the best I can guess is that when the water is draining out of there, it creates a swirl effect. You probably can't see it on camera, but it does create a whirlpool effect. And I'm thinking it's pulling that air from the bottle, pulling the air from the bottle down into the water. And you got the bubbles coming out, because that's not my bubble curtain. That is my outtake from the filter. And there you have it. I've had this filter running for maybe about 2 weeks now. So I think it's going to take a little time. It's going to take a little time for that bacteria to really set up good in there. But right now it's working great. As far as filtering the bigger particles, is doing really well. You know, my water stays crystal clear. All that stuff floating around in there is actually micro air bubbles and stuff. So I mean, so far, timer went off. It's working really well. Oh, and it's gravity fed too. So even though the pump pumps the water up into there, I have it sit higher than the tank, and so gravity is what's pulling the water out back into the tank. But yeah, man, I think it's cool to have it hooked up to the manifolds. The manifolds really just help out a lot. Helps to eliminate excess pumps or whatever, and just easier to control your water flow. This right here, this is for when I do water changes. Just hook a pipe up to there, drain it out the window. Because the way my house is set up, the Aeon water changer system that hooks up to the faucet just doesn't really work well for me, and I don't feel like running a hose all the way down to my kitchen downstairs. So this works well for me. So that is my DIY planter biological filter. Hopefully, if it works out, hopefully this will end up being my main biological filter, mechanical filter. Like I said, lava rocks, good to set up your beneficial bacteria, and it catches a lot of the waste, the big fish waste in there. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to end up creating some type of filter to put on the end of that. So anything that gets through waste-wise, it'll get caught. Probably like some floss or something. So polish or floss or whatever. So there you have it. Toodles.